This is the opening of a video we came across titled Day 73. After the sound of a bell, the player who we will call Harry walks up to his window with a book under it. The book has 72 pages, which seems to resemble the 72 days like in the video's title. I won't go through the whole book, but it shows the experience of a player who is dealing with something watching them, who then tries to bargain with the entity, only to fail. Now this raises a bunch of questions. Who or what is this entity? What's up with the 2 minutes of static at the start of the video? Well, we just have to keep watching to find out. The rest of Day 73 doesn't have anything out of the ordinary, as Harry is mining coal, then arrives home. Suddenly cuts to night time, where Harry goes back to the same spot and the sound of the bell plays again. From what we have gathered, Harry seems to hide away from the entity, which seems to only appear at night. There must also be something to do with sleeping at a bed part, which causes him to avoid doing so. Is it forbidden, and how does he know how to stay away from the bed? Well, since the first video doesn't give us a lot of information, we have to continue to the second video, titled Dream Sequence 1. The player comes across a mine or a quarry of some sort. He goes to check out the center of it, where there is a barrel. Opening the barrel, Harry finds 2 books, one titled The King and one titled Forgive Me. He reads The King first. A sovereign none will dare to stare, a king in all but nowhere, a skull as spine, a figure behind, rest in blood from those enshrined. Never leaves you, though not there. Look at it once and you shan't be spared. This is obviously a poem of some sort, describing a figure of power who occupies a skeleton appearance, targeting those who stare at him. This could be the entity that Harry deals with in Day 73, as Harry doesn't dare to stare at it. Harry reads the second book, called Forgive Me. I'm sorry, but I had to. It was the only way to get rid of it. Please forgive me. It now belongs to you. I'm sorry for this, you'll have to find a way to get rid of it, or not. Just try not to do anything stupid. The king is smart. Now this someone is writing to our protagonist, that's clear. It talks about the same king but passing it on is what it seems. This whole thing so far is quite interesting. A king that seems to target those who look at him with a skeleton appearance. Now this seems to take before the first video, though considering it's a dream, it's quite obvious that this is a flashback. That is really it for the second video, which leads us to the third video. The third video is another dream sequence. He goes back to the quarry and decides to explore it for a bit. Which leads to him finding a pale oak door camouflaging in the stone. Opening the door, Harry comes across a sign called Terrain, underground and not part of the vanilla Minecraft experience. The terrain occupies a white house on an island. Curious, Harry goes to check it out, finding a chest with another journal. Except Harry didn't write this. This house belongs to a player who we don't see. This could be the same player that wrote the book titled Forgive Me. The 2 locations are close, so it seems that way. The video doesn't have anything else interesting except for the end, where Harry types out a set of letters and numbers. These do not fit into any cipher, making it impossible to decode. Perhaps later we will find out how to solve this, so stay tuned.
The fourth video is yet again another dream, being the third. It shows Harry come across unnatural mountains which end up showing us a castle. Could this be the castle the king we've heard about? Harry, being the curious guy he is, goes inside the castle. Not the best idea, but should be okay for the dream, hopefully. On the wall, it says Harry C73 will suffer, and another wall showing a replica of his house. This is definitely the castle of the king. Does this mean that the skull statues on the walls are what the king looks like? It's looking that way. Harry checks out the chests on the wall under the staircase, and he discovers something dark. Each chest has journals of every player targeted so far. Harry sees a chest in the jaw of the head on the red wall. He goes to check it out and reads it. This target is the most vulnerable so far. Already 1,225 iterations in, and he's still yet to fight back. What is this referring to? Iterations? An iteration refers to repetitive procedures, so what does this mean? That's when it hit me. All the different books have given us clues as to what kind of entity we're dealing with. Look at it, and it restarts the iteration. The iteration being every set of days. But why? A king wouldn't do that. As Harry continues to explore, he finds a map. A map of the castle and his base, separated by a river. He finds a redstone structure with wither skulls, a crown, red banners, and a clock. Is this some sort of power source? No wonder the king can restart the iteration. He's sending you back in time. After more exploring, Harry comes across a room, chained up with redstone torches. Harry doesn't dare continue, running away, discovering beacons which seem to surround the castle, though aren't turned on. That was a packed video. Discovering a castle which watches you, knows everything about you, and you're not the only one. But wait, let's rewind a bit. There's an open trapdoor seen on several occasions. To what it leads to is unknown, but it's there. Harry only missed it. But we can't stop now. We must get to the bottom of this. The fifth video is the last dream sequence, but also being the only dream sequence to not reach 10 minutes. Harry opens the trapdoor, being the same trapdoor as before. He drops into a dark room with red windows, and some unusual armor stands with different pieces of armor. We cannot decode this yet. However, when Harry continues to walk down, there are loads of bookshelves, and a chest in the middle which has another book inside. The journals of the one who brings me my defeat. That is unless, of course, let's just say, kill him. I cannot do that yet. I cannot kill anyone until iteration 10,000. The power of time won't allow it otherwise. He dreams of the places that bring me my death. As long as he doesn't find them before iteration 10,000, I am safe, and he shall fall upon my hands. Well, quite the book that is. We learned quite a lot from that. Our idea that the king sends people back in time has more evidence to back it up. The power of time. But it is clear this room is holding all the journals of all the different iterations Harry has been through. So how many times has Harry looked at this entity? Harry finds a maze hidden in the bookshelves, which have no hidden messages inside except the armor stands at the start. Fast forwarding to the end of the maze is a room made of coal, which has 4 signs at the end, each being a cipher. But this time, we can solve them. They all lead to the same message. Go to the house in the woods. There must be something very special about the house that makes it need 4 signs to tell you to go to it. Before we continue, let's rewind a bit. There's a flash of a YouTube link. This video explains what the armor stands mean, but not fully. It tells us what the equipment represents and what armor types mean, but not how to put that together. So we did it ourselves. We came up with this chart where we used the numbers to add to each other and correspond with a letter. And now they mean something. The king wasn't always a being of the ashes. He ruled with a smile and sought peace. But one day it came and cast the king in flames, and now he seeks revenge. This is the king's backstory. This explains why the king is the evil being he is today. But wait, There's more. Remember in Dream Sequence 2 when the player wrote random characters on a sign? Well, now they mean something. Unseen. To what this refers to is quite vague, but it's probably the king who tries to remain unseen.
Anyways, the next video titled The House in the Woods shows the house that the maze talked about. Harry finds a villager, and they talk for a while. We learn about an enchanted forest, which has the key to defeat the king if played correctly, activating the beacons which are meant to cage the king. Strangely, it turns night and Harry is safe. The king does not attack him when he is inside this house. The villager keeps calling Harry special and talks about his ancestors. The villager seems to hear a lot about Harry, to which is even stranger. This villager is sketchy, but also seems to be telling the truth about a key, because in the next video, we see the forest. This video, titled The Enchanted Forest, shows many types of fantasy trees with red, orange, white, and blue trees. Harry isn't able to find the key straight away, though, like any smart individual, he grabs some blocks and towers up, and he still can't find it. Though, he gets down and looks at the sun. It's almost night, so he starts rushing and panicking. Luckily, he's able to find it in time. It tells him to take the block and rename it to the King's Defeat. So, he does what it tells him, and he keeps it in his offhand at all times. The final video of it all is titled King's Defeat, the same name as the redstone block. Harry seems to walk up to the same mountain with the castle, then finding the castle. Harry then spots the king, who after noticing him starts to run at him. Harry uses the redstone block to fight back and push the king away. The king runs back and seems to have an elytra and starts to fly at Harry. This is right before Harry places the block on the piston which activates the cage. This locks the king inside the castle, ensuring Harry's victory. Finally, in ARG, where the protagonist gets a happy ending. Is what I would be saying if Harry didn't wake up to the sound of a bell. What is happening? Harry's opening his journal blank. Day 1? Why is it saying day 1 if the king was defeated? Harry says it follows. Who? Is it not actually the king who Harry has been dealing with? Then that's when it hit me. What if the whole king situation was just a cover-up? Something to distract us from the real villain of it all. Someone who has been with us the whole way through. It was us. We even learned that it and the king were separate entities back in the bookshelf room. Think about it. We've been the only ones with the player the whole entire time. We were the ones that knew about the dreams. A king with time control wouldn't be able to know that at all. Multiple times the word "it" has been mentioned throughout it all. Even the villagers say "it" instead of the king when he's referred to him as the king before. The quarry, the underground world, the castle, the maze, the house in the woods, the enchanted forest. It's all been a distraction, and the one targeting the player is the true evil one. But why? Why would the true evil one do this? There's really no reason, but sometimes you have to read in between the lines. Going back to the king's backstory, we learn that it was the one who cast the king in flames, but the king survived. What if it wanted to finish the job, using the protagonist to lure him into the different places, to feel hate against the king, and want to take him out? The entity uses the player to defeat the king, and now Harry is next.